Hi, everybody. How's this for irony? I'm losing my voice. So I'm not going to spend time complaining because that's lame, but I got in at 4 in the morning. My luggage is in Chicago, so I've been in these clothes since 3 p.m. I mean, like, took them off to like shower and stuff, but then I put them back on. So I'm a little out of it, and definitely haven't had enough caffeine, and my voice is a little scratchy. But that being said, I'm so glad you're here. This is my 3rd convention since I've come back to the convention world. I mean, I just like ate some kind of salad. I think it was a salad, debatable, and then ran over here. So I just feel out of sorts, and I want to be present for you guys. So what I usually do is I start to babble like I'm doing now, and I do that for a bit, and then finally he's like, "Dear God, shut up," and they have a question, and I'm so good with that. So I'm just going to start talking, and then and I am random, so there's that. But you can be random too and jump in anytime and ask a question. But sometimes people are like, "Who are you? I know you're like a voice or something." But they're like, "Well, tell us more." So, does that sound good? Are you guys with me? Do you see why I'm cast a lot of the time as energetic characters? Because I'm so dead right now and I'm so like, freaking out. I'm just putting my gum out because it's so rude, right? Okay, so, in 1995, before like most of you were born, bastards, just kidding, I love you all. I was at a commercial print modeling studio. Let me just explain what that means. So you know you have your modeling studios where like you got the leggy, 7 feet tall blondes and the brunettes and the redheads, the gorgeous girls, right? And they're like amazing. And then you have like the people that are fun and interesting and not that, and that's me. And so it's a commercial print modeling studio where they taught you to be like, Samsung S5, it's a great phone. I'm talking on the phone, I'm having so much fun. And so it's the people that you see in the commercials that are smiling with gum and, you know, drinking a fruit juice and their life changes and whatever. So I was at this, apparently they thought we needed classes for this. Okay, I've got nothing to say about that, except that I did it. And I had a teacher there who said, "Hey, you have a really interesting voice," which was funny to me because I don't like the sound of my own voice. I think it's very grating, and I just put this out. I didn't even get my nails done, guys. Okay, so like random, but like I packed my nail polish because I was like, oh, I'll get in around 10:30 like last night, and I'm like, oh, I'll do my nails. And that didn't happen. In fact, we went shopping at 2 in the morning and I got nail polish, and I wanted to do my nails, and I didn't. Okay, what was I talking about?
Modeling.
Wedding?
Modeling.
Modeling. I never did that. Oh yeah, the school. Right. Random. So anyway, so she was like, "You have a really interesting voice," which was crazy to me, and she's like, "I'm gonna get, you know, there's this company in town called ADV Films, and they dub Japanese animation," and I'm like, "Japanese animation? That sounds so fancy." I'm like, "My favorite movie is The Last Unicorn. Is that Japanese?" You know, like I just didn't really know what that meant. And she's like, "Yeah, actually, that is Japanese animation, The Last Unicorn." She's like, "I'm going to give your name to Matt Greenfield." And they've been dubbing. I'm not sure if they started literally dubbing in '91 or if they just started not pretend dubbing. I don't mean it like that, but I mean like when they started formally dubbing, which might have been closer to like '92, '93. So she gave my name to him, he called me, he's like, "Yeah, we're kind of new, but we've got a lot of titles that we're working on right now. Come in and audition." And I was like, I'm so excited. And I had been doing like commercial voice work. I did a Marble Slab ice cream commercial, which might still be running, I don't know. Are there any Marble Slabs up here? Marble Slab ice cream? No. No. I did a commercial for Dad's dog food. See, I've got such a prolific, just heavy career. Dog food and ice cream, you guys, come on. All right, moving on. Not very interesting. Okay, so, what was I talking about? I did. So Evangelion, they're like, we've cast all of our leads, we've got some incidental roles. And so I had 3 big lines in Evangelion, which one of them is, "The doors are now closing." So if you ever hear that, that's me. I think it's in the first episode. Yeah, that's me in Evangelion. And then I did like some incidentals on Blue Seed, and Amanda Winley plays the lead in Blue Seed, and that's a fun series, and she's amazing. And then I got my first lead, I think I did Orange Road, Summer's Beginning, and I played Hikaru in there. So these are all like my early stages of ADV films. And then came Cutie Honey. And Go Nagai was casting, Go Nagai actually said this, he said, I want to cast the lead for Cutie Honey. It's very important to me that you're dubbing the new Cutie Honey series, and I want to pick the English voice. And he's like, actually, I want Winona Ryder. He said, I want Winona Ryder. And Matt at ADV said, we can't afford that kind of salary, because Winona Ryder at the time was like, you know.
Before she shoplifted.
It's before she shoplifted, right? It's before she got really popular for long things. But she was, I mean, this is like this is past Heathers, but you know, you get me. So, yeah, random. So we can't afford our salaries. And he's like, well, then I absolutely want to pick it. If you're not going to let me have Winona Ryder, who I really want, then I would, and I'm like, fine. So Matt auditioned 9 of us. And back in the day, you know, we were shipped off on sent the CD to Japan, and I guess there was no FTP or whatnot then, because it was 95. But anyway, so he selected me, and I couldn't believe it, because I don't know, that to me is still just mind-blowing that he chose me. So that was like my first, like, oh my god, Cutie Honey, you know, such a fun character, and lover. And then from that just came other shows that I did, and I don't need to list them, they're on my wiki, and I don't want to bore you guys already more than I am, because there's that. So that's my foray, that's how I started. And I've worked for tons of studios since then. I've New York, and then a couple in Texas. So does anyone have a question, or do you want me to keep going? I'm sure you don't want me to keep going, because wow. Oh, you guys, are you asleep? Hi!
Do you get a lot of characters that you would call, you know, kid-like or younger? Do they really cast you vocally younger?
I am usually cast. You know, that's interesting, because when I first started, I'm going to point at you with my one of 2 painted nails. When I first started, I got a lot of the teenagers, like Hikaru was very young, high school. FAM, a very underrated series called Room Explorers. It's 4 episodes. It's adorable, and I play Fan, and she's this little blonde thing, and you know, I don't know if that really sounds young or just weird, but I did get a lot of higher pitched stuff when I was younger, and now I find that you know, I look at the character and I'm like, well, she looks pretty, because they all look kind of young, you know, and I'm like, she looks pretty young. Do you want a high voice? Do you want something high? They're like, no, we want to keep it in your normal register. So you're like Queensblade, Nanael. I play Nanael. She's excited, and she's, you know, but she's still more, I'm not doing this to her, and pitching her up and making her sound really young. You know, I'm keeping her more in my normal range. So yeah, I mean, now it's people want, I normally cast as high energy characters, as close to my normal voice as possible, but with a lot of energy, so it is going to go up a little bit in the energy, but it's not going to be pitched. You guys, I'm losing my voice. Okay, so, was that a hi, Jessica, or was that I might have a question, but I'm not really sure? Just a hi?
More or less.
I'll go with that. Hi. Yes.
Sure. You know, this is kind of neat, but I've never seen anything anime-wise that you're in.
That's okay. That's all right.
Kind of into anime scene.
You are? So how long have you? So what is your name?
Douglas.
Hi, Douglas. Do you have a new anime addiction? It's okay to admit that here. You're among friends.
I don't watch much anime, so if anything, just Space Dandy.
Space Dandy? That's a crazy series, isn't it? Nuts. So I'm sorry. Did you have a question? And I just like ran right over you.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I just came to get here.
You know what? And that's a good reason, because it's nice and cool in here. So there's that. Air conditioning, you guys. Yes. Hi. Hi.
My question for you is, do you have like a favorite friendship with Hanji's?
A favorite friendship?
Yeah, like who she's with, like what kind of.
Is this the shipping question?
No, it's not.
Okay, someone asked me that at FlossaCon. We had to ask your favorite anime character, so I guess that, well, I never saw what was happening because we were behind the screen. Have you guys ever been to an Ask Your Favorite Anime Character? Did you guys go to that? Trying to run. Did you go to that?
I was at ClossCon. I saw that.
Okay, you were there.
That was me that asked you that.
You asked me the shipping question? Oh my god, and I felt like such a dork because I said, okay, and I was trying to be funny. Sometimes I'm not, but I thought I was. I really tried, you guys. So, okay, so just back, so Colossopod, they have this Ask Your Favorite Anime Character, and the whole premise is like there's a screen, and I guess they show a still shot of a character that you've played, right? And then someone comes up and they ask a question, and of course you're sitting behind the screen and you answer it as that character. So I guess a picture of Hanji showed, right? And we're all back there with the microphones, like looking at each other and being ridiculous. And so the question was, who do you see Hanji being shipped with, right?
I asked, I think it was like, who would make the best boyfriend?
Who would make the best boyfriend? And I was like, oh man. And I'm like, and there's so much controversy over Hanji and her androgyny. You know, the manga, she's androgynous, and in the anime, she's a little bit more female, and I'm female, so she sounds a little, she sounds female. Her voice, I try to drop her voice a little bit lower, and so she's a little bit more authoritative, and she's definitely not up here like a lot of the other high energy characters. When she gets crazy and screams, then she does kind of go, ah! But I try to keep her down here as much as possible. So I was like, they get so mad about spoilers and things at conventions, and I'm like, well, do I say she's shipped with a nice androgynous person? Like how much can I go into this? So I just said what I thought, like in my heart. I was like, well, if I were going to be shipped with anyone, it would be Sunny. Because Sunny and Bean are my loves. And dead silence. People were like nobody knew what to do with that. They were like, that's not what we wanted to hear. And I think I was like, hello. I mean, like there's like hundreds of people on this panel, and I was like, Cricket? Anyone there? Hello? Just let me touch it? Like, I was saying whatever I could, and people were just like, no, Jessica, no. So, okay, but seriously, I mean, I think I, like Captain, Levi, I just, I don't know. I think they'd be kind of interesting together, although he'd probably want to kill her every second, right? Because she's annoying. I just got 2 new Hanji scrolls, too, and she's all like, and he's all like, completely annoyed with her. So, as far as her other friend, I don't know. She's a loner, right? I don't know that Hanji has friends. I think people tolerate her, but I think that she's kind of close to her titans, and there's that. I'm like, what does she really do when the camera's not on? Does she tickle their feet? I mean, like, she's just so bizarre. I love her. So, there's that. Does anyone have any other questions? Yes, I'm so glad you have a question.
How was it playing Excel?
Crazy. That's the hardest role I've ever done, for different reasons though. Hanji is the hardest role I've ever done for keeping it contained crazy, because she is not balls out, excuse me for saying that, but she's not all like, she's pretty much down here, and she's very, and there's one episode coming up where it's all exposition, and Hanji's, explaining, no spoilers, but she's giving a lot of exposition to why she does these experiments, that's all I'll say. That much you can get from the description in Netflix, I think. So she's the most difficult character for that, but then like you've got characters like Excel, which are the most difficult because I had to maintain like cocaine level, sugar shock, like my snacks in the room with me were like, I had like a tea and a bag of Skittles and like just a vial of, crack. I mean, like I just had to be like, you're videotaping this, but where are you going to put that? I don't want to do crack. This is all a joke. I don't want
I do not care. In fact, if the fans like what you hear, then all power to you.
Okay, more power to me, but I don't do drugs, and joking, just
Mix
kidding.
it in the mix. Okay. Mix it in post.
I'll mix it
Like
in
we
post.
always say.
Please edit out that I do crack, because I don't do crack. But it was just really hard to maintain that level of crazy. The voice that we picked was also crazy and hard to maintain, and the recording schedule was brutal. It was 4 hours a day. I would do like four hours a day, like on a Monday, and then 4 hours on a Tuesday, and then off on a Wednesday, and then 4 hours on a Thursday, then off on a Friday, 4 hours on a Saturday, 4 hours on a Sunday.